Welcome to the Fifth Trooper Podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of the Fifth Trooper Podcast. It is I, Evan. I am here yet again in this perpetual torture, and with me I have Austin.
What's up, guys?
And Nick.
Perpetual torture indeed.
Hi, oh, hey! Also, big shout out to Austin for winning LSO.
Thank you. It was definitely a hard fought tournament. There was a lot of good players there, a lot of close matches, had some lucky moments for sure. But
oh, that's cool.
It was if you guys haven't got a chance to read the article, check it out on the Fifth Trooper blog. It was just a grand old time. I mean, Zane was a great host. He showed us all the cool places, and it was just a really good community bonding experience.
Oh, we'll get to Zane. Oh, you've put pictures of Zane on there that I get to. We're gonna go over the article in a little bit. You put pictures on there that I get to from the sidelines put funny mustaches and eyebrows on, and they can't stop me. No one can stop me. Not
when you're in your final form.
Nah, I turned off my human filter. This is it.
That's the really.
This is it. It's what you get. If you're watching the podcast, thanks on YouTube, I guess. Okay, so on the screen. Patreon's cool. Do Patreon. Keeps us going. We have some cool stuff coming out for cards. Check out the custom card shop we got going and custom token shop. Yeah, do that. All right. Now, GenCon. GenCon's pretty cool, I hear. So, real quick, before we get into my GenCon list, Nick, do you remember last year when we were playing at GenCon? I was at game 4, and I was out, right? I lost a game or something, and I knew I was just out. And it was the last table, and I was hanging out with this really nice guy. I don't remember his name. And that woman shows up, and she goes,
"Yes, I do.
Hey, are you guys playing Legion? What is this?" We're like, "Oh, it's Star Wars Legion." The guy I was playing was young. We assumed it was his mom. So she comes over, sits down at the chair next to him, starts touching his models and looking at stuff. So Nick goes over and tries to explain the game to her. And then she just gets up and leaves. And then we're like, "Oh, is that your mom or something?" He's like, "I've never met that woman before in my life." And we're like, "Oh, you could have because the guy I was playing was a nice guy. He was quiet. But I was like, yo, blink twice if you're in danger or something next time. We can tell her to get lost. I don't know.
It's the safe word.
Tell her to shove off. But yeah, that was bizarre. I'd never seen.
Was very bizarre.
That was really weird. She just sat down, picked up his stuff, and it's like a miniature thing to never touch anybody's stuff, right? You ask even if you move your models on the table, but I guess if you're just at a con, it's just whatever goes if you're just walking by.
Well, I mean, at a con like Gen Con, it's not like a con where everyone's there for miniature wargaming stuff. To her, those are Star Wars toys that we were making pew pew sounds with, probably.
I hope so.
So she doesn't realize that, oh, that's hand painted. Oh
yeah, that's that.
But
that guy.
So segue. It's a friendly crowd at Gen Con, but it is not necessarily just a wargamer crowd.
Yeah, so that was I just thought about that when I was driving home tonight. That happened to us, and we were all very flabbergasted. Because I remember she picked up something off the table or something. It was wild. It was wild. Anyway, all right.
And I also remember you just absolutely mollywhopping this dude for no.
Oh yeah, I feel bad because I got I lost my first game real bad, and then so I was trying to come back and I lost my first and my second. I got I'm like, well, maybe I could still make top 16. So I was trying. The guy infiltrated Maul in my lines, and I just shot him. I killed a man in cold blood. But yeah, that was definitely a thing. But anyway, so this Gen Con, after much flip-flopping, I have decided to try to win with old Greg. I think it's Greg's still bad, by the way. Greg's still bad. Don't.
He's got that block.
Yeah, it's true. He does have
to block when he spends a dodge.
That is true.
Works in Melee.
So this
Because
is
they
more of
forgot about
a
it.
I didn't know what to play. Trying to lug around triple ATST was just not going to be what I wanted to do all day. So I decided against that. I ran a local recently, and if there was a buy, I would play. So there was no buy, but there was not. So I watched. I bought like a 30 ATST and just didn't even get to use it, which is a real bummer. But one more thing. I forgot. We got sent we have the Keystone Classic Saturday, August 19th. Normally I have a PowerPoint up. I didn't have time. I've had a migraine for like 3 days, so this is what you get. This is
We're firing on all
Oh, not at all. Bro, it's bad. Okay. So the Keystone Classic, Saturday, August 19th at Courtyard Wilkes Bar Arena, 10 a.m. start. This is in Pennsylvania. 3 rounds. Top 2 will play 4th round. Point of contact event organizer is Vince, the underscore chief on the Legion Discord. This is a store championship for Dragon's Den in Hornsdale, PA. So there is a world's invite on the line. Entrance fee is $20. I think, let me see if I can get this pulled up on see if I can get an actual, like, I was told one of my good buddies from Pennsylvania is hosting the event because they didn't get, like, they have no stores doing anything. Sorry. It's bright. Vince, Courtyard Bar Marriott. And then welcome to the Dragons Classic. Link will try to be in the description for this, but it's coming up short. But if you're in the PA area, it looks like Jay's going to be there. Stacy's one running it. They only have so many spots, so please, I'll be there too. Please check it out. This is the kind of event that supporting is important because a little behind the scenes is like, this is all out of their pocket. These guys are just paying for this. This isn't the store doing this. They're doing it because they want to get people to play Legion around their area. And those are the kind of ones that Gen Con doesn't need your support, shockingly. Neither does PAX Unplugged. People will go to PAX and Gen Con because it's PAX and Gen Con. Or Nova, people are going to Nova no matter what. These are the events that do need it. But yeah, so check that out. I'll be there. You can slap me around and we'll just have pictures of people punching raccoons, and you can just send those to your friends. That would be me. That's fine. Anyway, my Gen Con list, my sad little Gen Con list. All right. Let me get band cards here.
You mentioned Greg.
Oh yeah, so Greg. So okay, I'm thinking, man, Grievous is not great, but can he be played? Is he playable? What's the thing about him? And so I thought, well, maybe building him really lean is the way to do it with very few upgrades. The vigilance is honestly, I just had like 12 points kind of hanging around. I didn't know what to do with them, so I popped it on there.
You could maybe do a medic or no, you're at 799.
But because being able to hold a dodge on Maul, when they're together is pretty good. Not like the best, or if his 1 pip goes off and nothing attacks him, being able to hold the dodge is like, it's a thing. It's worth is how many of his hit points, like when you break down the calculators, is what I always do with this kind of thing, is calculator. So he's got 8 hit points, or let's see, I have him at 166 divided by 8. So each one of his hit points is 20 points. So for 12 points, is it worth stopping 1 damage? Or possibly more because of block? I think yes, but I do weird. My brain likes that math for whatever reason. But anyway, like I'm not married to that. That's just kind of there. But then I've got a T-Series tactical with improvised orders, because something just to keep the boys in the back in line. Maul with force push, saber throw, seize the initiative into the fray. 2 B1s Nike, 2 B1s with a hyper Viper beam, the Viper recon droid. Observe 2, pretty good. Hand out some observe tokens. And I thought about like just giving people compliments when I do this. I'm like, you have a very symmetrical face. Very nice. Here you go. Your posture's immaculate. Here you go. Here's some 3.
I'm just over here making observations.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Just observing. That's all. Like, it's fine. Man, it's a hell of a Star Wars shirt you got on. Then I've got the Dark Droids because they're super amazing for 35 points. Just to be little, like, having them win games because they pick up a box and run, or like a hostage or something, just is really funny that they're like bullying people around. I don't understand. I don't get it.
The local game area that I want, it wasn't like the championship or anything, but the local area that just had a guy win his game in the final round because it was like this custom scenario that I did. He had a wounded squad of dark drones hauling back a box and a hostage at the same time for the win.
Like it shouldn't, but like, how can you even be mad at them? They're just like,
yeah, no, it was perfect.
They're really good, and it's shocking to me that the Naboo invasion, or not the Naboo, the invasion force, it's like they just got forgotten, right? That has to be it. Like, if you're gonna have Maul, but you don't have these guys. And then the 2 of the Baja Blast super battle droids with the Baja Blast itself, the B2HA 2 to 3 blast cycle, and then a tactical droid because reliable is good, and then losing AI attack is super good, and you don't really have to babysit these guys. They can like do their own thing. So this is what I got. You two being both CIS enthusiasts / better players than me, what do you think?
I think personally, the Vipers are interesting. I think I'd probably at least get rid of one of them for a relay on the probes. That's a trick that I've liked a lot to make sure that you get an order on both Maul and Grievous. So whoever's playing a card will get one, and then you can relay off the probes and get it to the other one. You don't have to worry about your T series and your the super battle droids, and I guess the darts themselves in the stack, and you can use your improv there. I think it'll help you maintain a bit of control.
So yeah. So I'm trying to see if there's a way. So on Maul 1 pip turns, is there?
I guess actually you could get rid of C's if you did that too.
Yeah, that'd be I could keep the droid and like because C's like, I put it on there because either that or it could be tenacity. Just to roll in and throw 6 red and a bunch of white. Like, seems like overkill, but sometimes you just need to make sure things die. And I've watched Vader, even though he's got 6 red days.
I think I'd do that. I think I'd put C. I think I'd do both. I'd get tenacity and the relay.
Mm-hmm.
But my Viper droids.
You still have one.
I mean, you could also, you could also consider taking vigilance off Grievous as well.
That is true.
Yeah, that wasn't that was a I just had the points. Like, that was, if I do that,
the droid medic is 14.
I could have 3 Viper droids.
Oh no.
You're right, Austin. That is the correct move. Fools. It fits. Now I get to compliment you 8 times a game.
Yeah, so on the Maul 1 pip turns, you can basically just comms relay the order to Grievous. So that checks out. On the Grievous 1 pip turn, you can just comms relay it to Maul. You'll have 2 core, a special forces, and a T series in the back, but you have improv, so like, I think you'll be fine with that. Like, you'll be, if you're ever in a situation where you need to like play a Maul or Grievous 1 pip and go first with the super battle droids, you're never like guaranteed, although you're likely, because
could you swap another Viper for double improv? Put one on Grievous too.
Double improv. No, my 3 Vipers. No. I mean, yeah, that works. I mean, the problem is Grievous has 2 command slots. So you think, man, I should really use those, but that feels like a trap. There's going to be points in the games where I just sacrifice Grievous. I just send him in like a missile and let him die if I need to do something, right? Like I want to hit you with those 2 lightsabers. I took Into the Fray. I think Austin, you had mentioned up close and personal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's over right now, but we could there's room to kind of wiggle.
Yeah,
but
you
Close
don't-
and personal is good if you
Yeah.
use train your Jedi outs for a first, and you can just a stack of dodges to try to
Yeah.
keep them alive.
Well, even if you're doing the peekaboo play style as well with his pistol.
Yeah, but hopefully if you're peekabooing, you're safe.
Yeah.
So I took up close because that's just what you need these days on anybody who's gonna hit you with a baseball bat. It's not like Grievous at least can get block, right? Block, it turns out it's better than Jedi. So Grievous, if you're new to the game and have never seen him on the table, which is not shocking, Grievous is 8 hit points, 2 courage, red defense die, Arsenal 2, which is good, block, which is a keyword that I think only like Callus gets on a 1 pip turn, right? So block when defending, if you spend a dodge token, you get surge to defense, just period. Impervious, when defending, if the attack has Pierce X, roll X additional die. He does not have immune to Pierce, which is easy to forget because he's a lightsaber guy, and you think that's just how that works. He's as Luke Eddy put it, he's a poor man's Jedi. So he's just like doesn't have anything great. He doesn't have jump. He's got scale, which got worse, but that's
poor scale.
Yeah. He just every change he made just
he
made
has
him worse.
unhindered and expert climber is what that should read.
Yeah. Jedi Hunter, so he does not surge, but he does have, if you're a force user, he surges to crit, and he's got relentless, which is the keyword I'm bringing him for, really. Relentless is super powerful, and the thing they made his gun free. They lowered him points and made his gun free. The Annihilator, the DT-57 Annihilator, melee or 1 to 2, 2 black, 2 white, critical 1, pierce 1, versatile. So there is a world where there are some times when you probably swing a lightsaber and shoot the pistol at somebody in melee instead
Actually,
of going double
that's
saber.
like almost every world. I think unless you have like 2 surges or something, or obviously, or you need impact. I think you always pistol and saber.
Yeah, because you're getting the same pierce because the sabers are both pierce 1.
Yes.
Trophy lightsaber. So
you're downgrading a red to a white to gain critical 1,
which is worth it with him.
Yeah.
I was trying to find ways to like get aggressive tactics in there, but nothing really worked well because you got 2 guys. Bolster's pretty good, so being able to throw a surge on him is pretty okay. Same thing with Maul. Maul like surges. It's like, okay, is this list good? Probably not, but there's like a bones to it that seem like there's something here. Being able to hang a Viper droid out to, or any part of the Viper droid squad to observe, put some more quote unquote free aims out. Not free aims, but like super aims, because anyone can use them. And they're 6 points. They're 2 more than B1. They get a built-in more or less, but not binocs. So for 6 points, you're adding a hit point, like a different way to look at binocs, and a somewhat better range 2 shot for 1 more die. I think they're pretty good now for the points. So I was trying to find a way to like maybe abuse those. So the idea is you peekaboo stuff with Maul and Grievous, and then when the super battle droids get into range, you just clap them for what is it? Roller. So it's 3 black, 3 white, 2 red, another white, and then the command droid gives you red. So yeah, I mean, this is just the amount of dice you throw, which is pretty good. Like, and then
it has blast.
Yeah, and blast is good, and you have surge, reliable,
and 11 dice, with no cover, like.
And then it's also impact, which is like has impact 2, which is pretty good because armor's around, so you got to worry about dark troopers, and that's what's nice about Maul and Grievous is they have impact and pierce kind of built in, so dark troopers don't want to get near you. Triple ATS would be a problem just because of all the hit points, but if I run into that, you just run into that. You can't.
I don't think we're in a spot where you can really prepare for everything.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
you can hedge your bets, and so I'm hedging against like
I think this will do pretty decently into Ewoks. Those
Yeah,
B2s.
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Blast is good.
B2s might be like an S tier unit if you like are teching against Bright Tree.
Yeah, I was like, how do I get more in here? Was my first question.
It's like not many. Are there any other units like not like just special normal core special forces whatever units that have a range 2 blast?
Not that I know of for range 2.
Yeah, I
It's
know the
like
Black Suns
I
can
think
do it at
it's
range
an under
1,
two,
but then you're
I know there are grenades, blast
yeah,
grenades,
yeah, I think yeah, they can do it at range
range
1,
1.
but then you're in Ewok danger zone.
Yeah, then you're in Ewok clubbing zone.
Yeah, I mean the old standbys to move into exactly range 2, shoot, and then you cannot be charged by that squad. So I think they're the only ones that can really pull that off against Bright Tree.
And it's funny because oh, go ahead, Austin.
I was just gonna say Iden can do it with her 2-pip, but
Well, yeah,
man card to do it, you know.
And I was thinking how I could get Cad Bane in here, but that's a little bit too much. I'd have to probably drop a B2, and I don't think that's
I think you'd have
good.
to drop Maul. To be
Yeah,
honest.
and I think for what I'm going for, Maul may be better than Cad Bane for this
Oh,
particular
absolutely.
situation.
Yeah.
But you've had so much success with Cad that I'm like, man, maybe he's really good. Then I remember playing him and just getting him killed like immediately because I'm a ding dong.
Cad
Uh,
is
It,
I think the CIS's most viable finesse piece.
yeah.
And I know I'm not good enough with Cad to pick it up right now. I thought about it in the list that I'll get to here in a second, but I ended
It's
up.
Cad's a lot of like he's kind of like a, you know, a gambling man's like, all right, you know, I'm gonna not spend, like I got 3 dodges, I'm gonna spend 1, and then I got 1 coming in, I got danger sense 2, so I'm rolling 3 dice, like, you know, I
Oh
should
yeah,
block it. Like he's like all about, you know, trying to like spread out, okay, how much can I like afford to roll and still be within the realm of possibilities, and like, you know, or do I like have to dump all his dodges now so he doesn't just get like one shot? There's so much I think that goes into playing Cad to like make him successful. You just have to constantly be like weighing the risk of, you know, okay, if I, you know, like in my game against Michael, I was like, well, he force pushed me into my own bomb, so like, you know, do I dump all 3 dodges and then make Ahsoka have to like roll to try to one shot me, or, you know, do I like save a dodge and like roll for 2 wounds? Like it's such a like weird decision you have to make. Like, okay, how many like dice do I want to roll? Because you never know what they're gonna do. And you know, he's very interesting though, for sure. Like, definitely a fun piece to play, and you know, that's kind of my take on Cad.
no, he's like, I think he's super good now. It's just man, white defense dice be white defense dice. And with surging white defense dice too, if you get hit for 3, you're like, well, I should save 1, and then you save none. You're like, cool. All right, well, great. Especially with danger sense, you're rolling 6 on that one, you know, that 3 damage coming in, and you're like, well, I should block probably like 2 of these, and you get nothing. You're like, great, 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 great. Love it. Love that I paid points for this unit.
Yep.
Yeah, I won't play him without at least like 1 medic, just to kind of like offset.
Hedge your bets, yeah.
Yeah, and it's worth it. Like, you're
Oh
putting
yeah,
off.
he gets good mileage out of his wounds. So.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, you're putting, you know, all this faith in Cad, who's like, his return on investment is actually pretty good. Like, if you're investing a lot of resources for him because of his objective play, like, you don't want to play Cad. Cad is the only unit in the game that can start on the middle box, grab it, and run without the help of deployments up, like, just period. Like, Yoda Chewie can obviously do that, but it does take 2 activations unless like the stars align, you know.
Yeah.
You're making me want to do like a fourth quarter conversion to CAD in my list, but CAD is like the one unit I don't have with me because
Oh,
I am like at a midway point between home and Gen Con. I'm stopping with family in St. Louis right now.
you need me to
So
bring a CAD? Do you want me to bring
Oh.
him just in case? Like
oh man,
I've got one
yes.
painted. I mean, it's not amazing, but it's like
Oh,
at least
You
done.
should.
I'm gonna. I probably won't, but I might cave. So yes, bring it.
All right,
No,
just
for no
ping me
reason
to
whatsoever.
remember.
We,
Just left.
we can discuss that later.
Yeah, I've got to pack. Man, speaking of Gen Con, like I took this weekend off from all stuff I was doing to like I need to finish painting. I had a migraine for 2 days, so that stopped like everything. I slept, man. I went to bed at like 9:30 last night. Woke up at 8, and I went to my parents' there. I slept for another like 3 hours. It's I just can't get rid of this thing. So I'm like,
Yeah.
so as funny as this raccoon is, I'm not hiding the fact that I'm painting B1s right now. If that's what you're asking, it's not. And you know what's really funny? So painting B1s is just like you prime them, then you use speed paint pallid bone, and it looks like good enough, and you paint their guns black, and you're like good to go. And then for the B2s, they have speed paint silver now, and you just put that on them, and like, you know what? Looks pretty good to me. And then then you just like you dot the little red dot, boop, and then that's what you get. That seems pretty good. Maul's gonna take some time. I might bring like I'm saving him for last. If I can't get him done, I might bring my scum Maul and be like, hey, do you mind if I use my scum Maul? I have this Maul if you really want the model, but I really like my army to look painted. And but yeah, so
Hard warning, Evan.
Dude, that's fine.
You're on thin ice.
Dude, please. Like God, like so we joke about it. I do actually want to go play Legion, but there's something in it where they like, Evan, we need you to stop playing today. Like for some reasonable reason, not like I started a fist fight or get kicked out of Gen Con, but I would just be like, yeah, man, no problem.
That's reasonable.
Yeah. Dude, imagine. Anyway, I was just like, yeah, I'm free. I can go wander Gen Con, like, and just be free. Because day one's Onslaught, day two's Legion, day three Shatterpoint.
We're gonna go back to Longhorn.
Oh God. Yeah. Oh, you got your you have your partner with you.
Yes,
so,
I do. I can take her to see
the shenanigans.
the
may not be
infamous.
yeah. Honestly, I don't know where the hotel is located for food wise where I got, but anything's better than our options were Waffle House last time. Like this beat up looking Waffle House at this like
they all look like that. That's just a Waffle House.
I've never actually seen one in the wild before, so that was like
what?
Yeah, where I live there's none. We have IHOPs. IHOPs are our Waffle House equivalent.
Oh, my sweet summer child.
Yeah, I didn't. When I went in, I didn't even know how to order. I'm like, you just kind of yell at them, right? Like, the breakfast bowl, hash browns. I was shocked. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, it felt like a fry cook thing, but anyway, yeah. Do you remember we drove all around? And you said something very ominous in the beginning. You're like,
yes,
Evan, you don't choose IHOP. You don't choose Waffle House. You end up at a Waffle House. I'm like, ha, that's funny. No, we'll find something. Everywhere closed at like 8. And so we drove around and we just ended up back at that stupid Waffle House. Anyway,
my Nostradamus moment.
Yeah, that you predicted the worst possible future. But yeah, so I don't know, like I like the saber throw. Being able to say take 2, like just lose 2 guys is pretty strong into like clones or things like that. But I mean, what happens if I do go CAD? Just out of like
I mean, I was thinking CAD instead of Grievous.
Oh no. I know, but
his goal is great though.
My goal is to be the hipster I am.
Yeah.
The Legion hipster, and then try to do something with Greg. That's true.
Can this go to triple super
B2s?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe. Actually, it's probably pretty close. So let's deck him out. I like duck and cover and Sitch, and then I like comms relay, and then I like.
Austin, did you take the slap gauntlets?
Yeah, I
did take the gauntlets.
I think it's an auto include if you don't like when I was playing Asajj with Cad, push was like the I needed the points elsewhere, and gauntlets weren't a super necessity because I have push with Asajj. But like if it's Cad without push in the list, like you definitely want his gauntlets, I think.
Yeah, okay. A mobile S3 is good and
Okay.
suppressive. Like
Yeah. Yeah, that's good stuff.
and that works with his card, right? Like
Mhm.
yeah, he can move way out of mobile S Trooper, so he can smack somebody and
Yeah.
just like leave. Yeah.
But he doesn't have to smack him with the card,
Yeah,
usually.
if he has a suppression, he can just give it to someone and run away.
So I've got Cad Bane, and then I could drop. Oh, these
Yeah.
can't exist. So
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I can. That works.
You have to drop a no, those also you need to cut a B1.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, darn.
Yeah, another T series. Like, oh no,
Oh.
you can't. Grievous is in there.
He's just isn't that crazy that you'd rather have a T series than Grievous? Like,
Are we about to go quad super battle droid right now?
but just like in general though, right? Like isn't that wild that that's like
Yeah.
a thing? All right, yeah. I mean, or I mean, if we're gonna do it, right? Like, I don't know. I don't have enough to buy all these. I've got 3,
no.
like, but I mean, like low key, like, I mean, there's points issues that you'd have to work out, but you could probably just super tack in there for like Kraken, just for that. Like, okay, we're like not too far off. Maybe like get that and then that, and then Kraken kind of just does his own thing, right? Like,
He doesn't have direct, so you're
Right.
gonna want a generic or cloning.
Rats. Okay, I was hoping because he's got that Pierce built in, and his melee is actually kind of mean. So probably I think generic is the way to go.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like, okay, this is, if man, it's like one of those things where I'm like, God, if only I thought about this like 48 hours ago, I could have time. But this 4 with Baja, like, that's really scary. 'Cause I don't care, you know.
Yeah, Baja Blast Troopers are. I think the interesting thing about 4 of them is like you put yourself in this situation where you get them in a position to like, all right, you know, if I win the roll off, I get to go first. If not, one squad is going to get blasted, but then I have a second squad, and then your opponent gets to go again. It's like, okay, they blast a third squad, but then I have another. Like they're always going to have like 2 squads that they're not going to be able to like do much against, and dice before they hit, like with having 4 of them.
A couple cool things about B2s is one, they are quote unquote like sniper proof. If you're in heavy cover with armor 1, they have to roll crit to even do damage to you, and that feels really good when they don't. It always feels like they do when I'm playing them. Like, oh, you got the crit, cool. Oh, you got crit again, wild. Wow, this is what are the odds?
Oh, double crit, natties, cool.
Oh wow, look at that. You didn't even need to spend the aim. Cool. Your clones, you can share that off. Great, love to see it. But they are quote unquote sniper proof, so you don't have to like you be careful with them, but like the cover is kind of everywhere now, right? So like you have to put 4 over the cover to even make them roll a die. And actually that's so my Grievous tech is Supreme Commander. So if I'm in a spot where I gotta push with the B2s, I just have the B1s soak the damage off the B2s. So I don't care if they die. Like they're there to die to make sure the B2s get into place. And so Guardian 2.
Well, okay, careful with that, because I believe you can back me up on this, Austin, that you cannot Guardian a unit that also has Guardian.
What?
Yeah, but that'll be fine because your B2s won't have face up order tokens.
Yes,
you can't
so
Guardian a Guardian?
you can't Guardian a Guardian.
Well,
so
like I'm not trying to make the damage move, but like you're saying one Royal Guard couldn't Guardian another Royal Guard.
Yeah,
correct.
Right?
A Royal Guard can Guardian another Royal Guard, yeah. But
I don't think so.
Well,
now I have to look this up.
Look it up to the RG.
Yeah, like 99 0.9% sure that like an IRG can guardian another.
I think that's the one of the things about this card is that if you wanted to shuffle it around, you have to make sure that what you want to guardian doesn't have a face up at the
I know you
time
can't
you
like guardian damage. So if I pull 2 damage off with guardian, I can't have another guardian pull that 2 damage, move it somewhere else. I know you can't do that. This is just like B2s are in the open.
a unit cannot use the guardian edge keyword if the defending unit also has the guardian edge keyword.
Oh, that's weird. I mean, it's still kind of going to plan here. Like,
Just don't give your B2s a face up when you play that.
Yeah, that's fine. I've got ways to not do that, and you can just opt not to direct too. Man, Cad's. Oh, yeah, it'd have to get rid of Grievous and then do Cad Maul, and then double. I mean, how does that fit? Not like.
Oh, you're giving up on Grievous already?
No, keep Grievous in there.
Yeah, no, this is more of just a thought experiment. Just to see points. Grievous, Greg's coming to Gen Con, whether or not you like it. He's actually in my Shatterpoint list too. He's playing my Shatterpoint list is Asajj, Grievous, Kraken, Kalani, B2s and B1s. So I'm more or less playing CIS like across the board.
Nice.
But you know,
block.
you know, all right. This one's okay. All right, no, I'm keeping my other list. But so actually, let's go back to that real quick though. So what did we decide on? That was Greg, Gun. I think we said improvised, and then
improv was an add-on later.
Okay,
yeah,
and that's okay because I haven't seen list submissions or anything yet, so I'm kind of this is all as of 7:30.
I haven't seen them either, and I've been looking. Like I'm really like wondering. It's a little
sweating.
Concerning.
You sweating?
No, I'm just like it seems like they'd be up by now.
Get nervous.
I think people are actually sleeping on CIS Maul. I don't think
pretty good.
Like where Shadow Collective Maul was before the choke nerf, but he like every other dark side force user around him got worse as a result. But he like can now go back to that same play style of just doing the peekaboo.
I actually said for a long time, and I was probably wrong for a while, I'll admit, but I still stood by that I thought the best way to play Shadow Collective Maul was operative with throw.
I mean, back in the heyday, I'd say no, but maybe right now, maybe yes.
Yeah. Right now, I agree with you.
It's I think this looks okay. Like this, I got 2 points. Anything that really wants, there's really nothing I could put 2 points on. That's
you could put the long range comms thing on one of the B1s.
Oh,
the integrated comp. Be the first person to ever take that.
Oh, it's 3 points.
It's 3.
Why would you ever? Oh no.
Oh, the vehicle one is 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 3 points. I mean, like,
put that recon intel on the T series to get taken.
That's true. You know
that
what?
T series hitting the back turn 1.
Yeah, there we go. We got it, boys. We did it.
I was gonna say something that you'd probably refuse, and that you could turn a Viper into binoculars, but
no, yeah. So I'm only doing it. I don't think it's a bad idea. I don't think you're wrong in that choice. I think I'm more interested to just go with. I really want to hit top 8, and I want somebody to talk about this list with Viper droids and Grievous in it, and have to like just eat shit for all the months of like talking about like, oh, Grievous is bad, Viper, blah blah blah, and then they have to read my list and like, oh boy, here we go, General Grievous and 2 Viper droids. Like, that's my goal. So we'll see. No one's going to. I'm sure I'll go like my first round will be like triple ATST, and I'm like, well, it's been real nice knowing you, as I get like just flattened, but here's hoping.
Yeah, B2s are great when they're rolling 1 save at a time. They're not so great when they're rolling 7.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like So it's interesting. Like the blast, I can shoot at range 3 at least. And then hopefully, like, I mean, Maul and Grievous, like if I have to go up there and just get impact, like I can chop one up. It's not gonna be good, and I'll lose something. Like, but I think at that point you're already in mission critical. I think like with Echo Base running around though, bringing triple ATST is kind of dangerous. Because Echo Base is a lot easier to bring places too. And airspeeder's like put the base sideways. The airspeeder's more or less a waffle, and you put it in your bag, and like you're good, right?
Yeah.
All those bad waffles out there.
But all right, enough about this grammar.
All right, clear that up.
Get that trash out of here.
Get that trash out of here. Give me a super tack.
One super tack. Boop.
Or so, not a T series. What am I doing? I wish it was a super tack. With aggressive tactics.
Just look at this man's sad face, not even smiling.
He is.
Look at this man's aggressive tactics. Man, that's a spicy tack
And
droid.
a comms relay.
Oh my god.
75-point tack droid.
I mean, if we do like is there nothing you can cut to fit a super attack in there?
I want the aggressive tactics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
say.
unfortunately,
like,
the rest of this list doesn't really make good use of the
all right,
the cards from super attack.
that's fair.
So I've got 2 squads of B1 battle droids with an E5S for a little bit of crit fishing and some standby shenanigans if needed. 1 B1 with a repair droid. 2 B1s with nothing.
Okay.
Seems like not a lot so far because here we go. 2 AATs with double shell and LTA. No pilot.
No pilot. You sure you don't want that command controller relay?
Oh my god! The
It's
fact
so
that
bad.
that's 3 points less than link targeting array.
Dude, you like never would you like like you take, I guess, on the speeder bikes, but even then like, ILTA, like they'll get, if they get an order once, it's worth it to get a free aim for 5 points.
And they still have to get an order to use the.
Yeah. Oh yeah, not
probably.
Good. Oh, you got, what did we miss?
We're about to get to that. So this is a standard double AT so far. Nothing too special.
Yeah.
And then the spice here. Yeah, there we go. Some blacks, and a Vigo and frags.
Right. Yeah. Man, like that is good, but you could. How close are you to fit Cad in there? Like, so.
Well,
not
we'll
that
talk about that in a sec. It's
far off.
Not that far. So, what the Black Suns are there to hedge me, because I'm running 800 points in this list. They can, just their aggressive presence can turn a lot of not super great matchups into a lot more winnable ones.
Throw a lot of dice, range 1.
Without them, hostage is tough for droids because on some deployments, like, and that was definitely something that I considered with Cad in there, is like on hostage, I can just put his token somewhere within where my hostage will be. And just comms related. Like, it's a big feels bad when AI triggers and you're on long march.
It is. It is real. I don't think there's any deployments aside from like hemmed in where you can get an order reliably on your hostage, right? AP, yeah.
AP,
because they're moving away from you, speed 1, which is really gonna suck.
Yeah.
But yeah, Black Suns mean you don't have to worry about that, and you can pretty reliably play hostage, and you have a scary threat that can linger around the midfield and discourage some people. But the devil on my shoulder here has mentioned that Cad Bane can also do something very similar. So I think if I was doing that, this is interesting. So let's get rid of Black Suns.
1 second here. Just trying to finish not painting a B1. Give me 2 seconds here.
Oh.
I know. I'm sorry.
No.
Sorry. He's almost there. I gotta get a stupid face.
The command cards I'm running are all the command cards I have to run because I have no choice in this list.
Yeah, all your generics and the.
Yeah.
All right, he
But
is
I guess
smothered in
kind of
pallid
does
bone.
open the door for Cad. Like if you have room for his 3 command cards.
Yeah.
Okay, he is smothered in pallid bone. He is good to go to the assembly line. All right, let me get the guy there. All right. Okay, so
All
blip.
right. And drop me down to just 6 naked B1s. Let's see where we're at. And get rid of AT.
Ooh, goddamn.
If I'm only getting use half the mileage out of it, it's not to add another
6.
B1. So that's where I'm at.
Okay, so
It is a spicy meatball. So I
Sitch,
think
right?
duck and cover, and I'd hold
Sitch.
off on Sitch for
Really?
right now.
Okay.
He needs a relay because he's Cad Bane. He needs a relay. Droids.
It
So
fits.
Sitch would fit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a clean.
It is very clean. My tanks aren't quite as tough because those surges are really nice, especially
You can bolster
out.
though, right?
I can bolster, but I have to act to
Yeah.
bolster.
Yeah.
No repair droid, it's gone. But I do have a much, weirdlier playmaker.
Cad's objective play is just like so. I mean,
Yeah.
he's like I think short of Boba levels of like playmaking by just a hair, but then his damage output is probably significantly throughout the course of the game less than Boba's. But like for CIS, he's the perfect fit for that role because like you were saying, he is a playmaker. And I think he's actually probably more durable than Boba. If
All things
he's
considered, probably.
yeah.
Ooh, man.
I'm just saying, Cad Bane is a lot of fun.
Looks okay. Yeah.
He's
Oh,
he's
you're
a whole
tempting me
unit.
on the spot.
Evan, you said you got a Cad Bane, right?
I do.
Yeah. Maybe some TTS experimentation is warranted here. So I think
I'm
the command
booting
hand
up.
is
All right.
still probably pretty straightforward. I think it's all a Cad's mechanized incursion. Orbital Strike is really kind of lackluster on the T series, but I guess you can still take it over Push. It's just Push is a little bit helpful to give out orders if you need to split for some reason. And then Roger is very
Roger
helpful.
Rogers is so good. Yeah, yet maybe Thursday we can play in a real table.
I'm playing Thursday.
Oh, you're playing Thursday. GD, man, GD. Yeah, geez. Okay, I think you still do Black Suns. I'll bring Cad Bane if you change your mind.
Bring it. I think
But this actually feels
is
like you get to
interesting
play
that
with a cool character.
It is interesting that it fits. I'm not sure losing all the toys off the B1s and aggressive tactics is necessarily worth it.
Yeah.
You're probably worse off into hostage with this list than with the Black Suns. Cad definitely helps. I mean, it's not terrible, and he can do some stuff, but I don't know if just having the tougher hostage unit or a hammer is just gonna be better. But no,
I agree.
I like it. It's interesting. I've gotten more. I haven't obviously played this, and it does have a hat in it.
It does have a hat. But again, like there's something about playing Legion lists that don't have like a named character in them that just kind of feel a little bleh. Because you're there for Star Wars, right? And Star Wars is all about the
these
names.
2 massive tanks are for.
Yeah, well that's fair, but like also like the command cards come from the heroes, so a lot of your cool cards are gone. You're just kind of like aiming firing. Yeah, I think I mean Cad does bring Pierce to the table too.
He does.
And Bounty. And Bounty.
Oh man, you're tempting me.
But then again, Black Suns can just throw so many dice that the odds are in your favor that something will die. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh man, this might come down to a coin flip. I don't know. I might. Oh, now I'm full of doubt.
No,
All right,
We've,
so
Hey.
no, actually, so there's an upside. This is what this is. Whatever list I bring, when I do terrible with it, I'll blame it on not bringing the other one,
there you
and
go.
not my own poor play, nor the consequences of my actions. It's definitely the list
No,
fault.
well, that's my way out, right? I bring bad lists, and then I'm like, oh darn, I lost with that. But if I won, I was like, haha, I won with this bad list. But if I lost, you see, it keeps my ego in check that I have a way out either way.
Yeah,
And
there
I
you
don't
go.
get that's why I'm so jovial all the time. So I go, haha, I've written myself out of this situation already. Until I bring like I go to Shatterpoint or even Onslaught, like Graham and I, we won't have time to put another one out for that, but we'll talk to one of the game developers I think afterwards. But like we're trying to bring like sweaty lists to that, like sweaty characters, because did you see the gem they just showed for the
Yeah,
top price
it's
too?
huge.
Yeah, it's like the gem size of my fist, it's like a ruby. Like it's like yeah, it looks sick as hell. Like the prizes for Onslaught were like some cool like foil cards. It's like a play. There's like a new OP kit coming out that you can get that comes with like a little chest and some cool stuff in it. And it was that, and I was like hemming and hawing, like that seems fine. Like I don't care. But then they showed that Ruby, and we're in the Discord, and these guys are like getting reps in every day, and I'm like, I haven't played a game with Onslaught, like a real competitive game with Onslaught since Adepticon. So I'm like, well,
Yep.
maybe I just can get like a thanks for showing up prize. Like you did it.
Yeah, I think we can, as long as we like we'll win like a game, I think we can get to day 2 and then we can get beat up and get our
Oh geez, imagine making day 2 in Onslaught or Legion. Legion's like I'm bringing this list. The prizes I don't remember what they are for the was the LSO World Qualifier like a
Yeah.
so they had the Ewok cards.
They have the Ewok cards. They have the suppression tokens. I'm not sure if top 4 got suppression. I know. Yeah, I'm trying to think what's in the kit.
Let me see. They Atomic Mass Game should have it.
Yeah, there was dice.
Star Wars Transmissions, I think. Probably pretty far down here. Man, those ARF troopers.
while you're strolling, I want to ask you something. So
me.
you're not going to Gen Con, correct?
Oh,
No, I would love. I would really love to, and that was kind of in the plan, but it
Stroll up Evan just past Gen Con, but
no,
just
I did not.
happen.
Okay.
but so if you were, what changes would you make to the Triple Magna CAD list? That was insane.
Oh, a lot.
I love
It was very like it was
Oh.
very it's not a great list. It's not a bad list. It's got good pieces in it, but it has a very what's the word I'm looking for? It has a very like kind of specific set of protocols you have to follow, and it's just not really like super versatile. It relies heavily on the whole, okay, if I'm at 800 and you're at 799 and I can force VAPs, like I can kind of just chill and set up a good defensive position while you have to be the aggressor. Like it relies on stuff like that to happen. And like if that doesn't, then you got to get like real crafty with the playmaking and just be like, all right, well, here we go. Like let's figure it out, I guess. I would probably change dropping a Magna for Bosk. And I think you can just keep it straight up.
yeah, it's pretty close to because you were running rockets, right? I think that cycle's pretty straight into Bosk.
Yeah, and you have to swap the improvised for allies underworld connections, so you lose the ability to really control your orders. So it kind of turns into like at best you'll have a T, like you'll have a 50-50 to like the T series or a Magna will be in the bag and then a bounty hunter will be in there. And it's like if you put yourself in situations where you need to go first with a bounty hunter that's in the bag, like Cad, and you just don't pull him, you just gotta wait a whole another turn and hope he lives.
Yep.
I would the changes I would make, like, I don't see great value out of B1 heavies right this second. But that's just kind of like a personal flavor and like it.
I think you're correct. That's one of the things I thought about was just ditching the E5Ss for
Yeah.
repairs and medits and stuff.
Yeah, like there's still SA dodge spam stuff running around. Like what are small dice pools like? Like the whole death by 1,000 cuts play style isn't really doing that great right now. And it's more or less just like relying on the sheer amount of bodies and trying to like force situations where like, okay, you want to kill this B1 squad, you can't one shot it because there's like two dudes hanging out behind a wall. So you have to like, shoot it twice.
Also, that's a war crime, what you're just showing there, Evan. That should be illegal.
The P1 in the burning tank, just like screaming, like, yeah, it's pretty good actually. Like,
yeah, I'm bringing two of them. Mostly, a lot of times I'll just want suppression out of them. Just move the range forward, suppress somebody.
Yeah.
But
yeah, the suppression game definitely a thing there. But like I guess back to your original question, after playing at Lone Star, I think Bosk would be a better choice. It pulls some like you want to take out Roger, which that's actually a really helpful card for Magna Guards, because if you just position all three of them to charge, like, okay, shoot at one of them, they've got 2 dodges and heavy cover and can dodge crits, and like, if you're lucky, you kill a model. If not, you're getting charged with 8 dice. So like you lose that aspect of it, but you gain Bosk, which gives you more ranged firepower, which I think like is still better in the long run. But that's a change I would consider making if I were told like, hey, take this list, either play it as is or make a change that you think is better. I would like if those were the parameters, like, okay, you got to do this one or the other, I would probably put Bosk in there over the third Magna, and then just kind of.
But you wouldn't, feel comfortable with it as a whole.
I don't feel like it's a reliable list. I think it loses to a lot of the good things. I mean, anti-clones is gonna like eat it for breakfast unless you get like the perfect table and the perfect deployment. Like a lot of stars have to align that are out of your control against like the really good lists in meta. And so like,
yeah.
I was just kind of going for like the memes. I mean, like I take tournaments seriously when I go, but like I was in a situation where I had no idea what to play, and I'm like, I guess, do I just play anti-clones or do I just play like Boba Gunline? And I was like, I've never been a Lone Star. I kind of want to play CIS. Like CAD's still super fun. What can I do with this? And like, it basically resulted in trading Asajj and some heavies on the B1s for that Magna, and go. The 11-axe was huge though, because like 11-axe gives you play on breakthrough against most speeder lists. I'm not gonna say all, but like that's another objective that you can now play against speeder lists. So like I do think the 11-axe, there's like something there to be had. But yeah, that's
cool.
kind of where I'm at with that list. Like it's not great. It's not a terrible list. Like I think anyone could go and do well with it. It's just not the best list. Like it's not going to set you up for the most success, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's not likely to. You're gonna hit some robots that can't really jump, or you're likely to hit some robots that can't really.
Yeah.
Also,
Like
actually, Evans found this here, and I forgot that Smug Dooku was a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, smart. So cool.
Smoke Dooku.
Oh.
So they're all good. They're all good. Actually, well, they're not all good. That Shadow Click to Maul is kind of a phone in, I feel like. It's like just the art and like sees what power we have. That's cool. But the Anakin's dope. The Palpatine's that's just having to bring some of these characters to actually get the cards. Like Anakin never would have Anakin, no one would have like Palpatine. Like you're right, or like Leia.
Leia's in Bright Tree sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm thinking Echo Base, yeah. But Smug Dooku is kind of like, that's pretty good. Too bad Dooku's kind of
Oh,
a little, yeah, I know. Pour one out. I mean, he's not terrible. He's just not as good as he was.
I'm working on a tier list for the blog, and like it saddens me where I felt he belonged, and I also
Yeah.
got other people's opinions on it too, and
I don't think you're wrong. Like, just not. He used to be like S tier, right? He used to be like, you'd see Dooku and you're like, oh crap, how do
yeah,
I guess I just have to gun him down and hope he rolls bad. That's my strategy here. Now it's like, oh well, he'll play his one pip.
Dooku used to be,
Then
I mean, such a good control. I
then I can
haven't played
ignore him.
Dooku recently, and I did kind of enjoy him before in like the support role, almost in Anakin, with like barrier, aggressive tactics.
That's with Force 2 is a hell of a drug.
yeah,
Yes, it really is. But he
yeah,
doesn't have that. He always has to dive at some point. He doesn't have that real like game changing objective control that he had with old force push and old choke.
yep, yeah. He's really struggling right now, and like you can play. I think if you do play him, the best way to play him is probably like burst, barrier, push, aggressive. I think you need aggressive tactics on him because
Oh
like,
yeah,
he
it's
has
the
no access to surges in for melee defense whatsoever. Like, I think he might be worse off than Op Luke because at least Op Luke has a training slot.
yeah
Yeah.
Optica's training slot and a bunch of dodge cards.
Yeah. Dooku's just kind of like, all right, I'm all, which it doesn't make sense, like conceptually and thematically, because like he's a duelist, you would think,
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
trust me. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on team.
yeah,
I have
Yeah.
this thing. It's just like if you have a fighting style, you
Yeah.
just get search to defense. You
yeah,
just get it. That's
yeah,
that's fine with like.
I'm fine with Asajj not getting it, but
yeah,
I
like,
mean, he
come
like
on,
she's
just give
her
Duke,
Ahsoka. Like I don't know.
just give Dooku block.
yeah,
Just give
yeah,
him
just
block.
give
Yeah.
him, yeah. I would say give him block. I actually think Op Luke is fine without block, but I think he should maybe have another training slot just because like Ahsoka does, and why doesn't he? He's
Yeah.
another force, but it's to get the same mileage out of what Ahsoka would get. You can is force guidance and
I was literally about to say force
Yep.
guidance.
yeah,
Is it
he
still
can give
10
himself.
points?
It's 5
No,
now.
it's fine.
It's 5.
I
Can you
think
do it
He can
yourself?
give himself the surge, right? It's not.
I think it's just another unit. Yeah. Let me. Or I mean,
Well,
a
yeah, that's the
unit.
thing.
Let me. Oop.
Yeah. Like I don't know. But Op Luke's force slots are very.
Choose up to 2 friendly units at range 1 to 2. You are in range 1 of yourself.
Yeah,
No.
each the problem with those is the timing of it, which is a little bit less less of an issue on Dooku because he has cunning, but you have to go before you get hit.
But yeah, I mean that's why you get aggressive tactics as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then you just like get the order and you get 1 at least.
Yeah. I mean, theoretically, if you're rolling more than 6 dice on defense in melee with your force user or anywhere in general, like they're probably in a really bad spot. But theoretically, you should only need 1 surge token, like mathematically, on 6 defense dice. So, like, unless you plan on rolling 12, you
There's
shouldn't.
still, I mean, there's still a decent chance of finding 2 on like 6 dice or something, which you only really see.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
like a Vader slap, Ahsoka or Asajj doing their dive,
Yeah.
which I mean that happens. Op Luke smash you twice.
Yeah. Yeah, it just feels like Dooku's in a spot where you have to play him more like supportive, and then you've got the one flashy turn where you can just but he had the one turn where he could be a hammer, and he's not really
Not even that much of a hammer.
Yeah, because he could effectively go in and all right, melee this squad, lightning this squad, force push this squad, choke this heavy, and it's like, okay, I get it. 4 of your squads just got affected by 1 unit, but I'm also paying 230 points for him. So like,
yeah. And he
you
can
know-
just die in some bad rolls. He can be picked death by snipers, right?
yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
they're gonna happen.
Like I've even pre-choke, pre-deflect nerf, pre-force push nerf, like I was like it's not like Dooku was, like running the tables, like I
No,
would
he
just
wasn't.
I would just be like, okay, I got my dodge token, I surge to block 4 blanks. Like, oh, I guess he just dies. Like
Yeah.
it's happened. And it's he's in no better of it. Like those things are still just as likely to happen, except he's not in a spot where he can like offset for that by making some big flashy play. But man, that smug Dooku face. Ugh.
Oh man, that was I went to my like things to. I won't put some funny mustaches on him later, but I like opened up my like remember things and it showed my my Golf GTI, and
Yeah.
I got really sad I don't have that car anymore. I'm like, oh, sorry, Dooku, you won. You used your force powers on me to stop me from drawing a goofy mustache on you. How dare you? But yeah, these cards look pretty good. Are these for top 8, top in faction? What are these for?
Yeah, top 8 in faction, I believe.
Top 8 in each faction. We'll see the Fallen Beautiful full illustrated. So I got a pretty good chance. Of like,
hey man, three CIS at Lone Star. I don't think it's gonna get much better than that.
Yeah, I think with the 2, we might get it by default.
Yeah.
And then suppression's cool. I'm down with it. These bright trees cool. So okay, hot take. I actually like the tarot cards. I just think that they need to sell me something to keep them in. Because I've got the stack of them on my desk. One of my clone one's a little beat up because it got jammed in a bog. You can't show them. I forgot I have the raccoon on.
He's just waving his hands.
Yeah, I'm like, whoa! But they're actually pretty cool, and they give you a lot of space. And then like they have the mindset of Shatterpoint, which is I do like that, where one side's like you play the game with it, and the other side's you build the list with it. So, for example, this Cassian one's just got like it's this full art, really cool art of him, 90 points. Here are his upgrade cards. Here's his upgrade slots, and you flip it over, and it's got all of his like actual gameplay stuff on it, so you can like kind of figure it out. I'm just like, I just wish there's like I bought a tarot card deck box for my Shatterpoint stuff, but I don't really want to have to keep buying them just to like keep cards from getting mauled. But I do like them. Also, this just makes me sad that we don't have a C3PO Golden God model. That kind of bums me out too.
Yeah, we needed that.
I mean, if we're gonna do it, that's all I'm saying. That Wicked one's sick though. That's like,
yeah. He's just like, this is my trophy.
Right.
Stormtrooper,
little 3-fingered weirdo.
The guy that was in this.
And so the impression's cool. Like, yeah, that's cool. The prizes are pretty good. I will say though, like when you look at like the X-Wing stuff, it's just so good. Oh man, makes me miss X-Wing. But we were getting a Dallas, so we'll hold it for next week. So we'll go over your article, then we'll go over Nick and I's time at Gen Con. I'm sure we'll have
be sad.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'm making day 2 with Greg, and everybody on the internet can make fun of me all they want, or not, or maybe I go bottom with Greg. We'll see. We'll
I'm pulling for you, Evan. I think you can do it.
And you know what the worst part is? So I win, like I get there, and they're like, well, it's just Maul carrying the game, and I'm like, yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, you know what? Like
I'm pulling it for you too, Evan, because I want an easier opponent day 2. Just
wow, that's yay, man. You're not wrong.
Sabotage if you're gonna bring up TTS.
No, we're not. We're not bringing that up actually. And that's it for this week's episode. Yeah, we'll be back after Gen Con, and we'll go over what happened to us. We'll go over Lone Star. We'll make it a battle rep episode because that's something to do. But anyway, everyone, stay rad, and we'll catch you next week.
If you see us at Gen Con, come say hi.
Or do not. Yeah, do that actually.
Evan,
Or
how
don't-
would I find you?
Or don't talk to me. Nah, yeah, absolutely. I love talking to people.
Will you look like this, or will you be in your human form?
Oh man, if I could show up like this, just this goofy like idiot, more than I normally am. But all right, everybody. See you later.
See you
Later.
guys.
Join us next week for another edition of the Fifth Trooper Podcast.
This has been a Fifth Trooper production.